All right, welcome to the Juggernauts Show. All right, welcome to the Juggernauts Show. Welcome to the Juggernauts Show. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is another episode of the Juggernauts Show. As you can see, I'm your long-returning host, co-host, Mike Favor. I'm here today with Shy and my man Chunk.
We here.
Adi, the usual host, as you can see, is not here. He's probably on a dirty beach in New Jersey somewhere.
I can't.
Enjoying the rain.
Enjoying the rain.
He'll be back next week.
Living his baby hands. How you doing, though, Mike?
I'm good, man. Been working hard.
I miss you. We missed you. We missed you last week. We had Shy on the show last week.
Nah, I had a show. I had a show that night. I don't even remember what the show was, but I had a show that night. So
No, that's what's up.
Oh, that I was in DC.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was coming back from DC. That's where I was.
That's right.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, we missed you. I'm glad you was being productive, so that's always a good thing. But glad to have you today.
That's right.
Adi.
This is our first time meeting each other, so this is good.
Right.
Shout out to Baby Hands, Adi.
Right.
See you next week.
Oh, wait. I don't know.
Matter of fact, Adi should be calling in later today. He should be calling in later in the episode.
Yeah. We saw him earlier.
So what's going on in the world? I don't know if you've seen 50 Cent's son.
Yeah.
You seen that?
No, I didn't
Well,
see
he
that.
said 6,700
$6,800 a month.
was not enough
It's not enough.
For 50
for
to pay
child
him?
support.
Yeah.
And that's not even going to the mother no more. That's going straight to him.
Well, I mean, now,
now
he's
not getting
25, so yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah, he's 25 years old.
No, but before he was
I think
saying
he was
that,
just
that's why
saying
he
like
had,
when he was on child support,
oh, got it.
He's
the
getting-
6,700 a month.
No, that wasn't enough.
Yes.
Wow, that's why 50 is so upset, I believe, with him.
Yeah, because he actually said,
Because
he said
what?
that he had to, could you start your life over with $6,700 a month?
A month.
A month.
A month. Yes.
He must not realize
That's enough
that
for
you
you
got
and your
people that
mama.
get SSI and SSD.
Yeah,
That's $900 a month.
I'd be happy as hell if I got 6,700. I need to find my dad so that nigga give me.
I need $6,700 a month.
Wait, that's enough for, yes, 3,000.
That's 81.
And some
That's
change for the
81,000.
mom, 3,000 and some change for you. What is it?
That's
and then break that down.
That's $81,000 a year.
I think
And that's
it's-
not, and for you not to work, not lift
But I
one
think
finger
that
to
was
do
just something.
anything.
I think when you look at it now, like things he said since then, I think that was something he said to like get his dad's attention.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
now he's
because-
saying like he would trade in the 67,000 for
I
a
mean,
day
the
to
heat
hang
is
out
on.
with.
The heat is there.
Oh, so now
the
he's
heat
talking
is
a
on him.
different tone?
Because everybody's talking about that.
Oh,
But I mean-
got it.
The heat is on him.
have
It's
to
a
watch
weird
that.
thing, man, because I don't know, like we don't know their family dynamics. We
Right.
only know what we see. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you don't know like what he did to his son's mother, like what their relationship was.
Right.
You know what I mean? And vice versa. We don't know what she did to him, what she put in the son's head about him.
Because that's what it sounds like. That I don't like. I
But
don't
then
like
again,
that.
you know,
I don't like to talk about. I would never talk about my kids. I would never down talk my wife.
But I
my
think-
That
ex-wife.
same thing with me. I'm my ex-husband. I would never talk to my kids in a way where it looked like I'm trying to make him in a down light. I'm gonna speak facts. If we was together and he didn't do what he had to do, I'm gonna tell you. But even that, I'm not gonna make it so that everything must. No, I'm gonna hit. And then when you're ready to have that conversation, you know.
Yeah.
It's just some
But
people is
I-
like that. Other people would just be like, your dad ain't, and you look, and he looked just like him. So I can imagine what she
Yeah,
used to
like
say
him.
to him.
Yeah.
She probably used to say a
Jazz.
lot of things to him because a lot of people go through that, either postpartum depression or even as he's getting older, you look at the split image of him. So I
Yeah.
know she's like,
But the
But-
point I think he was trying to make is that his father is a Forbes, like he said, he's on the Forbes list. I shouldn't have to want for nothing, like.
right.
That's
I
the
don't think
point
he
he's trying
wanted
to
for
make.
nothing.
But he wanted for now.
I
If
think
that's
he's just,
his fault because
I think he
50's
was
getting mad.
spoiled.
Yeah.
Right. And entitled. It's entitled.
Yeah.
He
Right.
felt entitled.
Right, and he did it. He actually took some money and he recreated one of 50 Cent's. I remember 50 Cent was sitting on the floor, I think, and he wrote out "broke" in old dollar bills or something, old $100
Yeah,
bill.
yeah, yeah.
So he recreated that photo and put entitled, because everybody's saying you're entitled.
Because that's what it sounds like.
50, I think 50 is finally up against the one person he can't beat in an argument, which is his son. Because how you going to tell that dude's his father? So,
You
He's probably explain it to him.
50 had an interview with, you know, the guy from TMZ, Van.
Yeah.
He has his own show now, or his own, or whatever.
Yeah.
And Van asked him, do you still love him? And he's like, not no more, I don't. He was like, how can I continue to love somebody who doesn't love me, keep disrespecting me, taking pictures with my enemies, you know, publicly trashing me.
See, and I can speak on this from some sort of background. I think because 50 Cent didn't have a mother, didn't have a father, you know, I grew up in a similar situation. I'm not gonna say I didn't have a mother because, you know, I had a mother who I was adopted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know my biological mother, so she wasn't there. My father wasn't there. So I grew up with this. You grow up with this mentality of it's me against everybody else, no matter who it is. And I think 50 Cent, he hasn't grown up to the point of he hasn't realized it doesn't have to be you against the world. You know what I'm saying? Because you shouldn't be going like that against your son.
Yeah, and I think he do things in a way, because even like with Tony Yayo and Buck and them, remember?
Yeah.
He stopped messing with them because he's like, yo, I'm working harder than you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be working harder than you.
It's different.
Right. I think 50 felt disrespected.
I think because he was giving him 25,000.
Right, but I think his son wanted to lash out because he don't feel he was getting what he was supposed to be getting from his father, whether it was the time or the money wasn't enough. So he started lashing out. But you got to remember, we're dealing with 50. This is not a normal average father that's like, I missed the time in my son's life, now I'm going to use these years to make it up. No, this is 50.
But that's
you don't want to be in my life? F you.
At some point.
50. Like,
at some point.
So his son probably thought he was going to eventually come around when 50 is like, you're pushing me farther and farther away from me.
Yeah, he didn't even want to. He said, 50 said, I seen him in the jewelry store, and I, you know, just accidentally bumping into him. He was trading a diamond chain for a bigger diamond chain, trying to get a bigger diamond chain. And he turned around, seen his father, was like, oh, you following me now? And 50 like, nah, I'm not following you. I just happened to run into you in the jewelry store. And he says, he just left.
50?
The son just left. Like, didn't say nothing else, so he just left.
No hug, no
so
anything.
He didn't
so
want
he
to
don't want to try to repair
but
anything.
Like Mike said,
so
we
now
don't
50
know.
see this. So now 50 gonna act out. It's like that show 50 that you
see,
giving
like
him
said,
your ass to kiss.
But like Mike said,
he seemed like he gonna come.
We don't really know the dynamics.
Right.
He might have been beaten. I don't know if he beat on a mother.
Right.
But I've read that he did.
I've heard that he's supposedly burned the house down. We don't know that as a fact.
But like I said, it goes back to, I think 50 has abandonment issues
He definitely does.
that he's never worked out, and now it's reflecting on how he treats everybody. But the one or the people you're not supposed to treat like that are your children.
Especially your children, yeah. But sometimes your children act out to the point where you're like, listen, if you don't want me to be in your life, we're either going to fix this or we're going to leave this alone.
I mean,
so how
it
do you
always can't fall on the parent. If I'm you adult.
If I'm giving you 25,000 a month before that.
I'll tell you like this, and this ain't, I don't have children, but I have, you know, I got family that I'm not really speaking to them at the moment because of whatever reasons. And I have this mentality probably because I was abandoned as a child, where it's like, I don't need you. Like, you don't have to be around.
Right.
Where another person might be like, you know, I want these people around, so let me try to work on my relationship with them. I got a sister that lives in Texas, and shout out to her. I haven't, before this year, I didn't speak to her for 13 years.
That's a long time.
So it was, you know.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. But it's good that y'all, it's never too late.
I called her on her birthday this year, and she was surprised because I never reached out to call her before. We never really spoke like that. And now I have siblings that we haven't spoken a lot lately for whatever reason. But it's just, I don't know, like, once I feel like you did something I don't like, or you said something I don't like how you moving, there is no conversation with me. There's just.
So how you think that 50 feel? That's probably exactly how he feel.
That's the point I'm getting to.
But you feeling like you're not supposed to do that with family. You don't feel. I mean, your kids.
Yeah. No. I don't think I should do it with my family either. It's just I have to learn. I have to learn to be a more understanding person. Cause my family, my siblings, you know, they have this thing where to them, I'm like the tough one. I'm the cold-hearted one. I'm the one that's like, you keep your shit over there.
Like my family.
Yeah.
I mean, but
and I'm trying to.
It's only with people you don't feel is genuine, right?
You know, it's people do things, and sometimes I don't like things that people do. I'm not gonna get into things that people did or said.
I understand.
But you know, sometimes
you get to form an opinion, you know, or something against them. Not even judgment. It's just I'm not judging you, but I know I can't be around that.
Yeah,
so then it's like stay over there. I can't.
But then at the same time, I know I've been like that my whole life, just because when you grow up without certain things, without certain people, you kind of teach yourself. The way I could stop myself from getting hurt or getting whatever by the next person is just cut them off completely. And I'm getting to an age now where, in a time in my life where I have to be more understanding of people and why people are. Because it took me
do the things that they do. That's where I'm at now too.
It took me years to understand, like, my biological mom. People would try to talk to me about it when I was younger, and I'd just be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck it. Like, or they would try to, you know, she went through this. I don't care. I don't care.
Right.
You didn't know
what she went through.
So.
But as I got older, I had to start being like, you know, she went through this because of this. She went through that because of that. And that's why, you know, but now I got to do that with the people that's actually here in the flesh.
Right, not make the same.
Like I have to do that with her other children. Right. Because I'm just like, well, you did something I didn't like, so you can stay over there and I'll be over here, and I don't need to explain to you why you got to stay over there.
So that's what you're saying, how 50 it's a learning thing.
Yeah, so so I can understand from that standpoint, because I do it with my own family.
But all right, you don't have any children. You as a comedian, which I think you're the next big thing.
Yeah.
I think, I know, I'm gonna say, let's go out there. He's got to be the next biggest thing.
Right.
You know, how would you handle a situation like that?
With my son?
Like if you had money, you had money, and you don't want your child.
And we're going to go through hypotheticals. We're going to get the hypothetical because we don't know what exactly happened. Right. So we're going to say you were with your son's mom. Right. Something bad happened. We don't know whether it was her part or your part, but y'all end up breaking up. Your son was very young. When you're trying to build a relationship with him, he don't want to build a relationship with you. Now you're building up animosities. Now you're saying you don't want a relationship.
You take the money away just because you don't want your son to
I'm not gonna lie, right? Like, once my son, like...
Because it's different than, I just want to separate. It's different than when you don't want to be bothered with them and you still paying your obligation than when you saying, no, if you don't want to be bothered. No, you still have to take care of your obligation no matter if you want to respect you or not. You still have to give that. But to be bothered with someone, you don't want to keep trying to, so you want to, and they slamming the door in your face. You calling in, son, I just wanted to know, click. Like, eventually that takes a toll on somebody, and they'll say, I would say,
he did say,
give him time. And when he decided
he said before StockX and all of that came out, he went to a store that was closing, and he said, how much you want for all these shoes? And the guy gave him a price. He's like, all right, give me all these shoes you got left over. And he shipped all the shoes to his son and told his son, sell these shoes online. Because the son was into shoes at this time.
Right.
Because, you get in high school and you start meeting other girls, and you want to have the new Jordan and everything.
See, but even with a situation like that, 50 Cent has the mind of, you got to look at it like this. Right. So
everybody doesn't have the mind that 50 had.
That's why I was saying we dealing with 50.
But 50 Cent had a mind of survival. Right. I think he always felt like he had to find a way to survive his whole life. His son doesn't come from that background. They don't have this, like you. So if I make it as a comedian, right, and I become, a millionaire or a high thousandaire, right, and my children, they're not gonna live the life I live. They're not gonna grow up how I grew up.
Right.
They're not gonna see the things I saw. So the mentality I had was like, I gotta do what it takes for me to get some money. They're not gonna have that.
Right.
So I would have to understand,
But how do you prevent like the Paris Hiltons and stuff like that? The ones that's like,
But
you know who my father is? Oh, you know who I'm. You know who am I?
You can't prevent that. If I'm your father and I'm a billionaire, why would you struggle?
Right.
And to mention Paris Hilton, she comes from generations of rich people.
Right, that's different than 50, and that's the difference
I
between.
I think that's what 50 was
money
trying
and
to
wealth.
do. Because,
but no, that's what I'm saying.
Like you said, that was before StockX, that was before GOAT, and
but his son is looking at it like, nigga, why do I have to do all this when
you got the money already?
You got the money, and you could just finance. You obviously have the money because you bought all these sneakers.
But the mother told him that. The mother said,
but if
you bought Mike Tyson house? The mother said, you bought Mike Tyson house? He said, yeah. He was like, oh, we lit then. What I got to work for? We good now.
See, that's the thing. You can't, and that's what you probably trying to instill in him. You got to instill work ethic. I don't care how much money I have.
Nah, but that's what I'm saying.
You're going to instill work ethic in your kids. But this is my money. Who used to say that?
But that's why to see Puffy.
I forgot what show. It's like they used to be like, don't we have money, Dad? And they're like, no,
King Combs, right?
Yeah, but Puffy, but you got to even look at a nigga like Puff. Puff he wasn't no street. He wasn't no. You know what I mean? He wasn't struggling for money.
But if you want to give it to them, put it in their trust.
But it's
put it in different things. Don't give it to them, and then they feel that they don't have to work.
But in a situation like 50, where it's like, it's too extreme. 50,
if you working, I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off, but if you working and you bringing home $200 a week, then I'll substitute that for whatever you need or whatever. But I know you going to work, even if you have to work at McDonald's, even if you have to do whatever.
But that's what I'm saying.
But if I see you just sitting there like, my dad is.
But that's what I'm saying. So like, if I got rich off of comedy and I had a child, my child is not gonna. They're not gonna live the life I live. So they're not gonna understand. If I'm like, I gotta go out and do this. I'm like that because I didn't have things, so I had to go out and get things for myself. Your child might not feel like, they don't know what it's like to have to go out and get things for themselves.
No, but then that's how you show them, so that when they go get their own, they're gonna appreciate it.
Because that's why
I feel
that's why child support is like that.
Nah, but you could
child support is like, wow, you done exposed this kid to living in mansions and driving these fancy cars, and that's why child support he took himself to child support because he knew. And what he did was he didn't let them move into his mansion because if he did, then he would have to pay more.
Right. Oh, okay.
So he wouldn't bought them a $2 million house.
Right.
He's like,
and then it's still $6,800 in child support. So that's
popping. I don't think he wanted to be her anymore. He was popping.
But he still was giving her what she did, whatever she needed to take care of the son. It's just I think that him and the son's relationship got the.
I think the son is him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably him. I haven't saw the son speak or heard how he speaks about him, but that looks like 50 is a daredevil and he's he's ready to fight the world. Yeah. There's some his son is.
The son is one of those kids that's like, well, my father was a gangster, my father was a street dude, so I could be like him, but he is also.
That was Supreme's son. I was watching an interview with Supreme's son today.
Yeah.
Supreme's son acts like that, and I was like, wow. And he's like, that's my father, I mean, I'm not like that. Son
probably act like that's like.
I think everybody.
But if you didn't live that life for them, you can't. Yeah, how long are you gonna live in your father's shadow? Then if somebody come up to you and say, "Oh, you Scarface," and come up with a gun, are you gonna be able to battle them? Like
you gotta realize too.
To them?
Most people don't even know 50 Cent's son's name. Right. To most people, he's just 50 Cent's son. That's his name.
Marquise.
No, that's true.
So I mean, I know his name. You know his name, but most people don't know his name.
Right.
But they'll know his face if you
like if you walk into school, right? You walk into school like, yo, you look just like 50 Cent, man. Oh, yeah,
so and then he'll ride that. But then he'll seem like he won't talk to his father, but he'll still ride the fact that he's 50
he definitely rides the fact that he's a son because all he talks about is his father.
You see, and that's showing hurt. That's probably him reaching out for help. That could be.
I'm
They
glad-
need a Yana fix my
but
life, like
that's
how
what I'm
DMX
glad-
and his
I'm
son.
glad that he
Like
actually
DMX
said
and his
that.
son
He's
did.
20
They need that.
But he's 20.
25,
He's
yeah.
25. So
Yeah.
so
They need to
point-
put them together in a
50
room
Cent,
so they can talk out
50
everything.
Cent should feel like, hey, you know, he's old enough now, but he's his own man, and I could talk to him.
And I hope that that's what it does, because 50 said that he tried to do it before.
Nah, but now
Didn't
the
work.
son is telling him.
Now-
No.
Right,
When
now
he tried
the
to do it
son-
before, was it you pulling him
No,
to
yeah,
the side?
no,
Was it you
the
and
son
his
didn't-
mother,
the
or
son
was it
didn't
a
want-
counselor,
Nah,
some
'cause
middleman?
I'll tell you like
Because
this.
they need a middleman. No
No,
mother, no
I'll
anyone. Just
tell you
him,
like
him,
this,
and
right?
a Yana.
Had I got the
fix my
chance,
life.
They need a Yana.
had I got the chance to meet my biological mom, right? I don't think the conversation would have gone well at first.
Right. No, it's never going to go well.
Yeah,
right?
so
Yeah,
Well,
well,
yeah, as a
it
teenager
could, but it's a
versus-
possibility that it
Versus who
won't.
you are now, right?
I don't think.
As a
if I-
teenager,
Nah, I don't think the conversation would go well at any age.
at any age.
Just because you left.
Right, but then you say as you're getting older, you realize.
Yeah.
Now you're
Eventually,
saying.
we have to
right.
get
Oh,
to
you're
a
saying
point.
at any age that then, back then, at any age
No,
you would have
If
met
we're talking about the initial,
conversation.
the initial
Right, the initial
conversation,
conversation.
wouldn't
Wouldn't
have
have went well, no
Yeah,
matter what
nah.
age you would have
Even
been.
if I met my mom today at 38,
Yeah.
Right.
the initial conversation is not gonna go well.
Right, and right.
Just
But-
because
right,
I
get
got
it.
some stuff I want to get off my chest,
Right.
and I'm gonna let
Which
you
is
know
fair, which is fair.
how I feel. And she may feel like,
Which
hey, you
is fair.
can't talk to me like that because I'm your mom.
No, but you're gonna probably be trying to defend it, which you're not gonna want to hear the defense.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, I don't care
But
what
then-
happened, you left. I don't care.
But then,
yeah.
but then eventually, I would have to get to the point of, all right, she heard what I had to say, and let me go hear what she got to say,
Yeah.
and we could come to some sort of resolution, or we could decide, hey, I don't like how you talking to me. You don't like how I talk to you. We met each other. We cool. We could go our separate ways.
Right.
What
And that's
about
when
your
I would
father?
give someone to.
My father, I don't know, cause I don't know.
I'm just saying,
I don't know
because you got a joke about that.
Oh
I like it.
nah, we're not gonna do
If
that.
y'all want to hear the joke, when's your next show?
My next show is the 22nd.
22nd.
No, my next show actually is Saturday. At
If y'all want to hear the joke, I'm telling you, it's a good one.
Nah, but my pops, cause I don't know what he knew.
Right.
It's different when you're dealing with a father, cause you don't know what that man knew. You don't know.
Oh, she told me he was pregnant. She
You
was
don't know
pregnant.
if they.
You
Now
don't
he's
know.
saying he don't know. He don't know if she
So
decided.
she knows she was pregnant.
So I can't.
No
Or
way,
afterwards, he would know and then she moved away, and you know, it's
So
a
I
lot
can't
of
come to
things.
my pops and be like, yo, nigga, you knew something.
Right,
I don't know what my
right,
father knew.
Right.
My mother carried me, so she knew the whole
She,
time.
yeah. The woman knows.
That's a good segue into
Yes,
relationships.
that's a
and
good
friendships.
segue. I need.
And why people don't last long, or they last long and they're not happy. Like that's what I want to do a survey on Union Square, 14th Street.
For the TV's
No.
on you.
So we just want to talk about basically why people are unhappy in either their relationships or their friendships, because there are a lot of unhappy people in this world, and it's like, why? Okay, if people could sit down and say, well, why am I unhappy with this person, and write out all the things and show that person, either the person will look at the list and say, okay, why didn't you tell me this? I like that too. We could have been doing this. Or they're gonna look at the list like, what the? Okay, no,
Yeah.
what the hell? Damien, what is this? Or they're gonna conform. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel you have to give your mate a chance. Now, and I'm saying, in the beginning, people always wanna, they do the lovey-dovey, they're trying to show you their best, putting their best foot forward, but at the same time, you have to be getting out these little nitty-gritty questions. Like, you
Yes.
could like the most gutter-butt, nasty thing in the bedroom. You have to date and tell people these things.
Gutter butt.
That gutter butt, like, and I say that because it's like, it's different things you do in the bedroom but then there's different things that people like Dama, or people who like some,
Nah,
not
Dama,
even like Dama, but
that's
just,
the
I'm just
whole-
saying, if Dama would have told people
Nah.
what he
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
if they would have told people, I guarantee you there's some guys out there that'd be like, okay, I'll lay there if you want me to just lay there dead.
Nah, cause
or
they
whatever.
Not, he
But
couldn't have
you
won
have to
that.
tell people.
Nah.
No, I'm just saying, no,
'Cause
that was
the
an
end result
extreme.
is I'ma kill
I'm
you.
a-
Right, no,
Eat
and
your
that's why
heart.
that's a bad example. But I'm just saying, but there's a lot of people that have
Oh, man.
that have fantasies or this thing. And fantasy, I'm not going to say, because you can do without fantasies. I'm talking about when you really need things in your life. and then your spouse or your mate don't do those things. Now you have to go outside and do it because you never told her.
No, but you were saying about the strippers, how guys go to
right,
strip
and that's
clubs.
what I said that to say, and this is why people go to strip clubs. It's like they want to see something that they can't get at home. Some guys, they don't know. Their spouse would probably be down with the putting the nurse's outfit on or putting a pole in the room, but you never said that to her because you want her to be
Well, I've said this before as for men, right? The first person you ever learn to lie to is a woman, your mother. Like the first person I ever lied to was my mother, and you learn to lie because like I don't want to get in trouble, so I gotta say what I gotta say to keep myself out of trouble, and that carries over into your relationships because you learn at a young age. One of the first things you learn in life in general is I gotta lie to this woman to keep myself out of trouble.
Yeah.
So then when you start getting in relationships, I gotta lie to this woman to keep myself out of trouble. Because it's the same principle. As much as people don't like to relate their relationships to their parents, you learn to lie to your mate because the first person you ever lied to was your parent to keep yourself out of trouble.
Right.
It's the same principle. If I want to keep myself out of trouble, I'm not gonna tell this person the truth.
Are you one of these women that don't like their men to go to the strip clubs?
No, if I'm comfortable in my relationship, no, we both go together. We both be having fun in there. You see what I'm saying? And even if I wasn't a person that didn't want to go with him, I wouldn't be like that. Now, if you're not confident in your relationship, you know that he's all and looking at everything, and every time y'all go somewhere, then you're not confident that he can go somewhere by himself and respect you. So then no, now you're gonna be like, you going where? And you doing what?
But you see, that's where
But if you're confident when y'all communicate, you'll know.
But
and
that's where the relationship. That's why I think relationships fail at. Right?
Communication.
Nah, it's not even
compatibility.
It's not even communication. It's you got somebody, because you gotta look at it like this. Why would I be with somebody, right? If all I'm here is, where you going? What's this? Why you doing this? Why did you spend money here? What is it?
How long did you know she was doing that though?
No,
if you with somebody, she showed you that.
To me, yeah.
In the beginning, she showed you trickling little things.
But that's what I'm saying.
And then by 3 years in, that's what you're hearing.
But that's why relationships.
To me,
that's
unattractive to me.
Yeah, because if you're a free person,
man or
if
female.
you've been free and you've been chilling, you've been spending money how you want, you've been doing what you want, then this other person comes, why you dress like this? Why you spend money here? Why you just like, yo, I could do without this.
Right.
I was happier before you started asking all these motherfucking questions.
And that's where compatibility is. If they in the beginning, when they know you like to spend money. They know you like to look nice. They know you travel. They know you go to strip clubs. They know these things. And that's the same thing for a female. A man could know a female likes to dress nice, in my instance. A female like to show cleavage. I like to show cleavage. I ain't got nothing back there. But, people like, I always say people like to show their ass. I just like to show cleavage. But I can't get with somebody who's going to now come. I like to do TikToks.
Yeah.
I like to have fun. I like to do my business. I like to give back to the community and all these things. But in my free time, I like to do TikToks. So now I get with somebody and why you always on TikTok? Why every time I turn around you want to do...
Yeah.
You're out of here.
Because
it's my thing is when you met me, this is what I was doing. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not neglecting my obligations. And now I have you coming in something that's my piece. Now it's every time I turn around, you on social media. I'm a content creator. What you expect?
Have you ever had a man
compatibility
to cover up? Have you ever had
one person I've ever been with? Only one person have ever told me.
How that work?
And it didn't work out. 9 months. That was it. Rest in peace. He passed away since then. But it was only one person who ever, and I mean to the point where I couldn't even go to the incinerator in my robe. Like, what do you? And I said to the incinerator, I can't.
But
can't go. Like
one thing I had
going
to
the
learn.
whole way.
One thing I had to learn
Relationships
at a young age. At a young age, when it comes to relationships, is every woman is different. So you can't carry over how you might have treated your last girlfriend to the new girlfriend.
Never do that. That's another reason why relationships don't last. You can't carry over, and that's why they said with that baggage, you can't.
Yeah.
if you, but the little thing is harder with domestic violence and stuff like that and childhood trauma. But even that's why they say heal before you get in a relationship with somebody. Because yes, you want them to understand what you went through, but they don't want to hear you're having problems all the time because of something.
But that's the tricky. But that's the tricky thing about relationships is like how you said like heal before you get. But you can't stop love. Like you can't stop when you meet a person.
That's true, and that's
because I've met women when I was at my worst.
And they helped you? And they helped you?
I wouldn't say they helped.
Not helped, but they added on to you? Did they take away? Or did they make you have more trauma? Or did they help you get through?
I know in a lot of relationships, I was the bad guy.
Right. Like, and that's because you was healing from certain things that you was, you know, and you didn't know how to communicate that, which is understandable.
I love the fact that you could admit that, though.
Right.
I love that.
That's the thing.
Because when I was in it, I knew I was the bad guy.
It was hindsight now.
It was like, yo, when are you gonna realize that I'm the problem here and stop trying to hold on? Because I'm not gonna let you go if you're not trying to let go.
I mean, I love the fact that I can sit my phone down and I ain't got the passcode my wife knew my passcode, but I'm not worried about nothing.
And that's what I'm saying, you're in a comfortable relationship.
I told her, I was like, listen, I'm not gonna hide nothing for you. I'm gonna tell you before I cheat on you.
Right. Yeah. And I feel those are the most respectable. And I'm not saying, because I'm like that. I'm that type where y'all both have, you have my passcode, I should have you. But a lot of people is not like that. They feel that that's too smothering. They want their sense of privacy, which is understandable. Yeah. But I love the couples where it's like, it go bling and they're like, babe, see who that is? Yeah. That's you know there's a level of comfort and trust that you can, your man could be cheating. You would never even think because of that.
But see, I'm not gonna lie, I'm the type of person.
And you're comfortable, it'll be comfortable, right?
I feel like that's, oh Lord. Tiff said women are more sneaky.
They are. Men could cheat and be in a restaurant with their woman, and a woman could come in and they'll get sweaty. They'll go into the bathroom. They'll start getting. And then a female could cheat, and a man will walk in, and she will see him walk and say, "Hi, oh hi, Timothy."
But this is what I told
and keep
people.
on
This is what I told people about that, like that sort of thing, right? So I don't think men are as sneaky as women because
they're not. They can't do it.
Physically, right? There's a difference. So physically, if you catch me cheating, what's the repercussions? Like, what are you gonna do?
And that's another subject. Because some women will know their man is cheating and they won't say nothing. Because they'll be like, he's going to do it anyway. Then some people will know their man is cheating and say something, but still let him do it again.
Right. This is what I mean, right? You as a woman, right? So I'm sure you've been with men who are like physically imposing, right? So you could be with a man, and if you cheat, you don't know what that man might do. He might hurt you. He might hurt the nigga you cheating with.
Right.
He could do whatever.
That's true.
For a man, the physical intimidation is not there.
It's not there at all.
So it's like I could run amok and do whatever.
And all I'm gonna do is be seeing women fighting.
Yeah.
They get their car scraped up or something like that, or just have to argue, right? No, that's true. I agree. I never thought about it like that.
I got a family member.
Yeah,
that's true.
Maude is a gangster.
Now what you do with
she is
different.
No, but
different. Her husband cheating on her, she shot him.
See,
but you get what I'm saying? Like
different.
Majority of women.
No, I get what you're saying.
So a man don't feel like, she catch me cheating, she gonna be mad, she could leave, but she ain't gonna put her hands on me. A woman is like, I gotta be sneaky because if this nigga find out, he gonna kill everybody.
He gonna kill him, and he gonna kill everybody.
That's always the threat that's there.
That's true. That's true.
For men, our ego won't allow us to think physically this woman's gonna hurt. That's why
they hurt my stuff, because that's what they really go for.
They're gonna bleach
it's different people that go and stab you and shoot you and do, but most of the time the women gonna go for your stuff, your clothes, your car.
And most men look at it like you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Just don't put your hands on it.
Right. And they'll put some men will put their
a woman will slap you.
When they with the girl, they'll go find the girl. So what? And what that's going to do, I'm have a red mark, and that's it. All right. And she'll get over it.
And then what if you be the nigga that crack your foot? You see?
Right. That's what he's saying. Him slapping him as opposed to him. Right.
Like, all right, cool. I
will kill you.
Yeah, like, But that's what I'm saying. That's why
He was just eating a little few pieces of chicken.
But that's what I'm saying. When they say women are more sneaky, it's because physically you have to be more sneaky. Because you don't know what that could do.
You do. No,
you don't know
that's
what
true.
type of nigga you dealing with until you cheat on them.
No, that's true. A lot of people do know, too.
Yeah.
They either take a chance or they know that they don't, and they'll stay in a situation they're unhappy.
You have some women, they deal with men that's in prison, and they'll let niggas know, hey, this nigga in prison, but when he get out, this shit over. Because when this nigga...
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And you'll still have dudes out there knowing that this guy is going to see those dudes and know these dudes and come after them like... And that's
but with a man, it's like, yeah, like I said, with a man, it's like I could cheat, and she gonna leave. She might leave with the kids. Right. With a man, it's a more emotional thing. Like I don't want her to do anything to me emotionally.
Right, because that's what a woman gonna do. They're gonna hit you where it hurts.
But physically, we know there's no repercussions.
Right.
Like people always talk about Michael Jordan's wife. Michael Jordan was stupid because his wife got half. So
you married,
she got half, and then he went on to make another 900 million
after that.
So it's like, so
you got half of that.
That's good.
Like,
Mike really looking at stuff different though.
Right? No, he brought a lot of things to the forefront. No, that's good. That's what you need. Other people.
Again, you gotta look at it from a physical standpoint. I'm 6'6", 220. What you gonna do?
It's true.
You gonna hit that? You ain't hitting me.
That's true.
You gonna hit the woman? You not touching me.
Yeah,
that's true.
I never understood that because they go right at the woman, straight to the woman first.
Because
but the female do that too. The female goes straight to who he was cheating with,
that's
right?
What the women do.
She don't even know about you 9 times out of 10.
Physically,
what is she gonna do to that man?
The man,
I
right?
been hit by women that ain't do nothing.
Right. Okay.
Oh.
Like, I be shocked when really hit me. But I had to warn them, like, hey, dude,
I don't want to expose myself too much, but I'm gonna tell you this one story. Me and somebody I was dealing with, we was arguing. She caught me with bang in the face. My instincts automatically kicked in to hit you back, because that's what I do. You hit me, I hit you back. But then I realized what I did, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Nah, like I had a girlfriend.
Right. I always say, you hit a man, you better be prepared to duck, fight, or run. Like, don't hit a man if you're not. A lot of people will say, I don't hit females, but a lot of people will be like,
she caught me good.
I had a girlfriend
with no problem.
Wheelchair on. We was play fighting. She got serious one day. She hit me in the jaw, and I like kind of threw her off the bed. And she jumped up and she was like, oh, you a bitch ass nigga. And I said, hey, listen. You got your kids here.
But I want them to see you later.
I'm going to let you know.
I was embarrassed in front of the kids.
I do not condone any type of domestic violence, but some females need to keep their hands to their head.
Does not condone.
Nah, but I had to let her know.
We
like,
do
hey,
not
bro,
condone none of that, but we have to keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah. Like, you just punched me in the jaw, so if I was to react...
A lot of people won't even say what you're doing. They're going to react and then be like, I'm sorry.
After she hit me, she jumped up and she was like, you a bitch ass. I said, hey, that's cool.
Just
keep your hands. Let this be the last time you put your hands on me, because your kids is here, and I don't want to...
I don't want to be in a type relationship, though, where we got to fight.
No, if you got to get to that, let's
I don't want to do that.
Please, let's just leave it.
Listen, man, it's a lot of fact. I've seen people in mutual abusive relationships, meaning
they like that. That's like what they
yeah.
And then I see people who think that that's okay, meaning if they're with someone that don't abuse them, they don't think that person loves them because they're so used to it. Now that's a mentality nobody would ever think.
And
that's
not to, but I was raised in a house where beating was the answer for everything. Anything I did wrong, it was, I don't beat you. So, of course, I can't do nothing to my mom. I can't put my hands on my mom.
That's true. That's back,
but the next motherfucker I see put their hands on me, we gonna have, because now, the way I know.
Yeah, win or lose, put your hands on me is going down.
But you learn, the point I'm getting at is you learn a lot of times, especially the generation we come from.
Right.
You learn to resolve everything through violence, because in my house, the resolution for everything was violence.
Yeah, you getting
So
you can take that and go either one way or the other way. You can take that and be like, listen, I'm not doing that and be a totally non-violent person until I have to. Or you can take it and be like, listen, that's how I learn and that's how I'm going to be.
Yeah, and for a long time, I was, hey.
The first one. Like,
That's
what I'm saying. A lot of people are.
It was an unconscious thing.
Angry.
It wasn't a thing where I knowingly was like, this is why I hit people, because I get hit.
Right.
So it was just, I just thought it was, if you do something I don't like, I'm going to punch you in your face. I didn't think it was, this person does this to me every day, and I take that energy outside and use it against everybody else.
And that's what used to happen with my daughter. She used to get bullied. So when she finally told me, and I brought her up to the school, and they brought the parent up, he heard what was going on, and then after the meeting, because he didn't want to really say it in the school, but after the meeting, he was like, you know why she come to school so angry? Because she's bad, and I'll beat her. I'm trying to show her this, that, and the third. And I'm like, oh, that's why. Because like you said, you can't beat your father up.
Yeah,
you can't curse your father out. So now she take that animosity of me getting beat every night, or every time I do something, because she was that. She didn't care if she got beat, she'll go out and do the same thing, come home, get in trouble. Now the next morning, you going to school and you bullying these kids because that's the only way you can take your anger out.
Even though I was in a chair and all that, it was, so this person, my mom would do it, and then that's all I know. Because I'm in the house with somebody that do it all day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So then I go outside, the minute somebody says something wrong, we ain't got to.
Yeah.
Because that's how my mama taught me.
I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people.
My mom wasn't no discussing.
Yeah,
with
you was
my
getting
mom.
beat.
It was, yo, I told you to do this, you didn't do it, so this is the consequence. Outside, yo, I told you not to do
and
this.
then you ain't do it. So I'm gonna do this.
So what was one of the worst beatings that you can remember?
I mean, I'm not.
No, I'm not saying, because I got beat. I got beat.
Well, I got beat. My grandmother used to beat the crap out of me.
It wasn't the worst beating I ever got, but one of my most memorable beatings was, so I had surgery when I was 12, and I was getting out the surgery, I was recovering, and I was trying to walk up the stairs, and my knee had got like caught in the railing. So it was hard for me to like, cause I was still recovering. So my mom, like, she kept like trying to push me and like, yo, she's like, yo, hurry up.
Man, my neck stuck.
So I'm like, she's like, I wish you would hurry up. And I was like, I wish you would shut up.
Oh, shit.
And the next thing, and we lived on Linda Boulevard. Linda Boulevard is like a strip, so it's nothing but cars coming by. So I said, I wish you would shut up. And the next thing I knew, whoop, right in the back of my head. I fell in the doorway, and she started stomping me out in the doorway. So now all these people driving by is watching me get stomped out in the doorway. So now if you got a kid like that who's getting stomped out in the doorway,
God damn.
Oh my God.
now I'm angry at the world.
You need a hug?
No. That's why I said I didn't really want to. Me and my mom, we cool now. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to make it like me and my mom is like the devil. My mom, we cool as hell now.
And that's why they need balance in the childhood, because you have a lot of parents that teach their kid, no matter what anybody do to you, don't just turn the other cheek. And then you got the other parents they say something, punch them in the face. And if you need me, I'm coming up to the school.
See, now I'm angry. I'm angry at my mother, but I can't do nothing to it. But now the next person say something.
And now you outside. Now you got.
Next person say something smart to me. Now because I'm angry at her, now I'm gonna punch you in the mouth.
Right.
Because I can't punch her in the mouth.
Right.
I think the most memorable beating I got, my grandmother beat me with a fishing pole. Because I just wasn't. Listen,
sticking out of it. Wait, oh God.
It was a fishing pole.
Right.
And my grandmother liked to fish. And I think I wasn't moving fast enough or something. I don't know. And I said something wrong, and she said, what you say? And she beat me with the fishing rod.
Yeah.
I ran out the house and ran home. I
think when you end those times, you don't think anything is wrong with it.
Like you said, it's our generation.
I thought it was something wrong. My grandmother beat the crap out of me. I thought something was wrong, but I didn't know what to do.
I didn't realize
and how
it was
to
wrong.
do it. But once I knew what I had to do,
I thought
every beating was the worst beating of my life, because that iron cord ain't That's nothing to
Word.
mess with.
That
So
is
every
nothing.
beating
Nah,
was my punishments
mom
was
used to
crazy.
my mom used to have
You don't
these
do that
thick,
to kids.
My mom used to
Yeah,
have these
I wouldn't.
thick ass belts, like not belts you put
Yeah.
on your pants. I don't know where she would get these,
Right,
but
like-
these belts used to be
Yes,
thick.
yes.
And my mom, you know, she was an old school. She wore dresses. She didn't even have pants.
We called it the beat ass belt.
How you be like, look at this? That's like me taking this off and beating my kid with it right now.
That's
Metal, so,
that's
like,
chess.
no,
So-
you don't.
You
No,
intimidating me
like,
right
come
now.
on. You
Then,
got iron cause
You made
iron.
me move over a
Right,
little
no,
bit.
yo.
But she pulled it
Like,
out.
like
They
get
ain't-
over here.
They
Nah.
didn't realize, you know what I'm saying, back then, it's like the more she would beat me, I wasn't a kid that was
Right.
like, all right, I learned my lesson, so I don't get beat again. I was like, all
Yeah,
right,
you do admit that you was
I was
the bad
I was
kid.
horrible.
But if you bad, no, then that's true. But
can't
like,
beat
you
the
don't
bad out
know
of them.
Nah,
how
it
to
was a, it was a,
I don't
but
think
you
you
got
do
to,
that.
It's like you call them, you like, listen, and they like, listen, either put the pens out, or is this, it's like they make you feel like you're on your own when you want some interjection before you
Yeah.
start putting your hands on them. You want some, and they like, did they get arrested yet? And you're like, no, but I see them down. And they're like,
But it
they
was
can't
a-
step in until they either
But
get
for
arrested
me-
or you put them out or something.
For me, it was a combination
Should
of
be a
things,
Right.
because it was like I didn't have my mom, like my mother.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like the person who's supposed to be raising me and taking care of me, you being abusive.
Right, that's with me. That
So,
was with me.
then
That's
it's
exact,
like-
my exact situation.
So then it's like you start getting angry, like you don't know what's wrong. It's just like, you know, I'll fucking kill everybody.
And that was me. And I went into foster care, mad at the world. My group home, I went to a group mad at the world. And then as I got older, I started realizing my grandmother did that to me because that's what they did to her. She didn't know how to show her kids love because they didn't show her love.
Yeah.
She had to do this
My
and this
mom,
and that,
It
you
was
know,
the
so
norm.
as you, like
It
you
was
said
just like
before,
the norm
as you
for
get...
it.
Yeah,
It
my
was like
mom,
the norm.
and, you know,
And then my mother compared, me and my mother compared because this is my mother's mother.
Yeah.
We compare, like she used to beat my mother
yeah,
down.
and, you know,
So it's like
and,
this
you
was
know, I hope
instilled
if my
in me.
mom sees this, you know, sorry, but my mom
Yes.
didn't. My mom didn't tell me like she loved me till I was like 30. I'm 38.
And if you ask
So-
her when the first time somebody told her,
Yeah.
ask her. I bet
Oh,
you she
right,
you
that's
see
a
what
good
So
I'm
it's
saying?
like but
you
that's
don't
what I'm
know
saying.
how to show it.
That's something I had to learn.
Right, we do.
I had to learn about
get
her
older.
as a person. Because growing up, my mother didn't talk about her childhood. So you just sit around like, this motherfucker, what's going on with her? Like, but then as I got older, I started learning like, oh, this is how she was raised, this is how people did her.
Right.
And then it was like, oh, okay. So now I understand that's why she did this to me.
Right, and that's what I started to understand. Once I started understanding this about family members and different people,
Yeah.
I started softening up.
Yeah,
But
I
then-
started realizing,
Me too.
like, because I used to be mad at my family, like, y'all let me go in the foster care system?
Yeah.
All of y'all was
Yeah.
older than me. But then I'm realizing, and I'm doing the math, I was, 11, 12? They
Yeah.
was 16, 17. What was they doing?
Yeah,
What was they
yeah.
going to do? They was living
But
good.
that's-
And as I got
but
older,
that's-
I was
see,
like,
yeah.
oh, they
Like,
couldn't
that's
help me.
But that's the thing about like my biological mom. I had to realize she had things in her life that led to her abandoning me.
Right. You see
Because
what I'm
people
saying? So, yeah.
people did it to her.
Right,
So
and that's
then-
all they be knowing.
Yeah.
And like I said, you either go this way and doing the same thing, or you either go this way and saying, no, I'm not doing this because I know how it feels.
But
Right.
I do
know.
thank her because I feel like she felt like she was putting me in the best possible situation she could put me in. And had I grown up with my biological family, my life would probably be totally different.
Right.
Or it would
Like I
be.
probably
And we
wouldn't be
always
doing
feel
this
like a
right
lot of
now.
woulda be,
Yeah,
coulda be,
it would be
right.
totally
You don't know.
different.
Or you could have been doing way more than this. You never know.
Yeah.
It's like because
Or you
you
could be
always have
locked
these
up. Nah, but-
people
okay,
that
so-
could be like they could be worse.
But
or-
okay, so
or-
take it for example. Because I was adopted, I went to summer camp, right? I went to summer camp. I met his wife when I was 10. So
Wow.
because
Him and my wife is like best friends.
Right, that's
yeah.
what's up.
So I met his wife when I was 10. Because I met his wife, I met him, then we
Right.
started doing this. Had none of that happened to where I was in a situation of being summer camp in the first place, which if I grew up in my biological family, most likely
You
I
wouldn't
wouldn't have
able to
been.
go to summer camp.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have
Right.
been able. Right. No, that's true. That's
So-
true.
All the little decisions back then led to
Led to the big
little things
things.
happening
That's why we
Well,
never
the
changed
big
nothing.
things happening
Yeah,
now. Right.
Right, and this is like my brother, like
yeah.
he
So
can call
love
me
it.
and say, "Yo, I need a place to stay."
when
I can sleep on the couch. You good.
when I was
You
younger,
have to have someone. That's the only people I want to be around. People who, because that's how I am.
Right.
I know you from a Canada. I would take a homeless person in
Yeah.
and shower and give him a nice pair of clothes and send him back
Yeah.
out wherever you go. Like that's what I would do. So I don't want to be around nobody else, nobody that's not like that. And I don't. It's not transactional. I don't expect nobody to do for me when I do for you.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
I just want people to know I'm here. So whenever, if it's 2, 3, 5 years down the line, whenever
Yeah.
you'll be like, she's good people,
Yeah.
look out for her or whatever. That's it. Whether it's a shoulder I need to cry on, whether it's an event I need you to support,
And-
whatever. Just
but let me say this too. But like my mom, even though we talking about like my adopted mom and all that, my mom, like now I look at it, my mom, she did a lot. You know what I'm saying? She looked out for me when I couldn't look out for myself.
yourself.
So when I talk about the past, that's just what it is.
not
For-
taking away
Yeah.
from what she's
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
now, but you have to get it like,
Yeah.
to help other people.
That's
showing that y'all can get from that to
yeah,
this.
like the past for me is just what it is. It's the past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't look at my mom with any sort of anger or hatred or anything.
That's
It took me some years to get there, to get past the anger, but you know, now that's my homie. Now we cool.
See, and somebody need to hear the story.
Yeah.
Somebody mad at their mother right now.
Yeah.
I need to hear the story.
Nah,
and once they hear you saying, yeah, it took years, or the first time it's
Right,
gonna be
it's
rough.
not- right.
They're scared of that first time. So with them hearing from somebody that experience that, they need to hear that. And
It's
then they could say, oh, well, let me reach out
Yeah.
and see what it is. And even if they reach out one day, and then they'll reach out again for a month, 3 months, 5 months down the line. At least you made that initial contact.
Cause I'm not gonna lie, I used to like in my 20s.
It's never too late.
I would call my mom like maybe once, twice a year, if that. Just cause I had an anger towards her that she didn't even
She ain't know.
realize existed.
Right.
She probably just me saying it just now. She probably for the first time in her life, if she ever hear this, that's gonna be the first time she hear it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I would call her like once, twice a year just cause I was like, I don't really, you know what I mean? But then I'm not gonna lie, when the pandemic came, and my mom is older. My mom is in her late 70s. So the thought of I could lose my mom in this pandemic, that made me
With
like,
this animosity too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
With you.
It was-
it's
That'll
like,
make
let me
you. That'll
call my-
wake you up.
yeah, it was like, let me reach out to her and see what's going on
See
with
if
her.
she
And then it
alright.
became like a regular thing.
Yeah.
Just to make, cause you know,
That's so nice. I love hearing that.
She-
I love that.
she was older and she was at risk.
right.
Mike is a good guy.
I know. I
He's
saw
nice.
that. I see it. I hear about
He's not a
his
bad
name
guy,
preceded him. His name came through the door before he did last week. So I already know. And that's what's up.
Yeah, but
That's
yeah,
the
I don't
people.
want people to think my mom was just like the devil. She was,
Nah.
my mom,
Right.
we
no,
cool.
it's
My
just she
mom
went
was-
through what she had to go
Yeah.
through for y'all to be the way y'all are now. There's no, and after this I have to get ready. But there's no rule book, no manual to this parenting thing.
It is.
There's a lot of people who have to bring kids into the world. They don't know no other way, and when they finally hear, they're like, oh my God. And they make a way, or sometimes they have to give them up to give their kids a better way. So then those kids in turn, the ones that the person feel, okay, I give my child to this family and I know they're gonna live a good life. Now that child grow up resenting them, like, I don't care if we was living in a cardboard box, you
See,
should have gave me.
but this-
and it's
this
like,
is
no,
what-
you gotta understand, they was as your parent,
Nah, this
they
is
wanted
why-
you to have a you know, and
But this is why people, when
I
people
can
ask
imagine me doing that, but I can see why. I can see why people would say, okay, I'm really in a bad situation. Like, I'm gonna be in a really, really bad situation. A lot of people are.
But this is why when people ask me would I ever adopt, I say no.
No?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Oh, you see it, and why?
Just cause I realized at some point that conversation has to be had.
What happened?
So you can't, cause if you keep it from them,
Right, no, I would
Then-
never keep it. Like, and I have foster baby, and I was about to adopt, and I know what you're saying, and I would have to, but I would say it like, try to like,
But-
what age, like,
Yeah,
what, like,
but
you would
there-
like, what
there
age,
is
8,
no-
9,
what
what
age
age,
is it?
11,
What
12,
age is it?
13,
I-
15, and it's like, by
I
16,
found
it's like,
out-
why didn't you tell me earlier?
I found out when I was
Oh my
7.
God. Okay, was you able to understand?
Right, at 7.
See,
yeah,
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
No, let me not say I understood, but I
you
didn't
know the
get
concept of it.
I didn't get the ramifications of
Yeah.
it.
It's hard to process
Right.
at 7.
So, but the thing was, my mom, my biological mom, she was around until a certain point in my life, and then she just disappeared. Like nobody explained it.
And you remember her before she left?
Yeah, but I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
Because I was so young that I didn't know that's who she was. Because to me, the person that was raising me, that's my mother. This is the person I see every day.
Right.
And that was a family member?
Nah, she was
It's
just.
just,
But
you
But
thought
yeah,
she
now I
was a
see.
family. You thought she was just some
I thought she
person.
was my mom.
No, because usually when there's a
Oh,
family
you
dynamic,
mean-
usually when there's a family dynamic and you see the person, like sometimes a mother give it
I saw my
to their
mom.
sister, and then it's like
Yeah.
they're raising them
Yeah,
as their
yeah,
son, but
nah,
they're
I
really
saw
their
my-
nephew. And
I saw my biological mom like once a week.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, it'd be
So
times.
she was close,
What do you
even
mean,
when you wasn't
visits?
with her.
Like-
Oh,
like-
even
Yeah,
after
yeah.
you left her.
Nah,
you
no,
seeing
no,
her.
no. Like when I was real young, like.
When you was
from-
living with her?
Nah,
Like supervised
I
visit.
lived with
After
my
you
mom.
left, after you was living with her, then you
So
started
I
seeing her
lived with
once
my
a week?
mom for like 6 months, and then something happened, and then we got put in foster care.
Okay.
And then the lady who ended up adopting us, I lived with her since I was like 6, 7 months old.
Oh, okay, got it.
So-
And then you was getting like
Visits. We had visits because the
Visits.
original plan was we was gonna go back home. So I would see my mom like every week, and then sometimes
that's
she would disappear for a little while because she would
Right.
get pregnant again. But at the time, I'm too young to realize like, oh, she
Oh,
comes
that's my
and
mother.
goes. So nobody said like, yo, this your mom. They just, cause I thought the person I was living with, that's my mom.
Right,
Because
right.
this person I see every day, this person who, you know what I mean? When I'm sick, she take care of me. When I'm in the hospital, she's there. My mom, my biological mom wasn't there. When I seen her, it was just, hey, you crying?
There's some lady
You making
here.
noise, nigga? I'm putting on some Michael Jackson. I'm gonna feed you some peanut butter and jelly, and we can call it a
You
day.
gonna feed her peanut butter jelly?
So that was my relationship with her, though. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
That was, yo, you crying? All right, be quiet.
Right.
Here's Michael Jackson. Here's peanut butter and jelly. Please, leave me alone.
Right.
But to me, she was cool. Cause it's like, hey, every time I see this lady, she cool as hell. She,
Hey,
Right, and that's how a lot of people feel about their dads when they're not in their life.
yeah.
And it's not funny, but that's what it is. It's like I don't see it for 3 months, but when they come, they have McDonald's or they have
Yeah.
we're going to the park or the
Yeah.
carnival, and it's like
So, yeah,
you
but
see you in
then
3 years, and now you gotta come in swooping in. Like I can
But
imagine females will be like, "What? No, y'all not going to the daggone carnival today."
but
no,
then one day she just disappeared,
Right.
and I used to ask like, hey, what happened to the babysitter?
Right.
And nobody would really say
babysitter.
nothing. But then at 7, some shit came on about adoption on TV, and I was just being stupid. And I was like, hey, am I adopted? And my mom was like, yeah. And I was like,
That's what I'm thinking. They be waiting for you to ask, because I don't know. I don't know how they probably don't know how to introduce the
Right.
Wow, but that's
already
because she
knew-
said off the
I already
bat.
knew I had. Nah, the thing was I had cousins that was adopted.
Okay.
So I already
So you
knew,
already knew the concept.
like this was a natural
So
thing.
you was a question asked type of kid though.
Yeah,
And it just happened
because
to
I
see
knew I
that-
had cousins, so my cousins they would let us know like they adopted. You know what I mean?
Okay, but nobody
they-
told you.
Yeah, nobody came out and was like, cause my mom would tell me they wouldn't have like family meetings in front of me and be like, these niggas is adopted.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Can you not?
But
It's sick.
so the thing on TV came on. I asked, and she was like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay.
But Shy, we want to thank you for coming on to the show. It's always a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
You
It's
coming
always
on
a
the
pleasure. I'm
show.
coming back next week. No, I'm just like I said that last week, came back this week. But no,
Uh-huh.
whenever they invite me back, I'll definitely be here. But it's-
So why don't you just shoot out your socials to the people so everyone
Okay,
can contact you.
FB, it is Shavasia, S-H-A, B like Victor, A-S-I-A, Diva Roberts, or Diva Roberts Shavasia. And then IG is Sha_the Empress, and the business page is Key Business Team on IG. So thank you, it's been a pleasure.
Whenever I post shows and stuff, y'all see either in my stories or I post it on the actual page. So whenever I have shows, y'all see. Thanks to Chunk for coming out to the
Right,
show.
always.
He came out to 2
Chunk.
shows last week, actually.
Yeah.
I got to support my boy. It's my boy.
Thanks to
When you
Chunk
go,
for
let me
coming
know.
out.
All right.
We go by.
I will.
Saturday show I just had, Chunk was at. And that had like 200 people, 300 people in there.
Daddy killed. It was like that comedy jam. It was like, that's how it went. It went crazy. It went crazy.
So, you know,
That's what's up.
yeah, man. So y'all can follow me on Facebook. I mean, Instagram. Y'all never know my Facebook. Shout out.
I can't.
Shout out.
Any last word about Adi?
Yeah, shout out to Adi Badu.
Adi Badu.
We love you. See you. See you next week.
Yeah.
Adi, you better be here next week, because I'm going to be here next week. I
Yes.
don't know what you're looking
Thank
at.
you guys. Thank you guys. It's another
Thank
show.
you.
Right? Another takeover show, Mike.
Stay blessed.
Yeah.
Stay blessed.
I feel you
do the
Tony,
outro.
but let me speak to them. Too many clones, I think they got a little mystique in them. Everybody I run with.